What's up, beautiful people? If you are watching this video, there is an excellent chance that you are balancing and doing everything for everybody and you are not taking care of your needs to the level that you know that you should be. So this video isn't about organization and decluttering in a way that means that you're going to put things in alphabetical order or that your closet is going to be organized by color and season. This video is a video that's going to offer you suggestions on what to remove, what to replace, and what to release in order to have an environment that feels as productive as possible, that is unique to you, and also to have a mental environment that is clutter-free so that you're able to not be always just operating one thought to the next, but having it in an organized manner that truly lets you hone in on what matters to you. So if you're ready, let's go ahead and get started. So this is as simple as the sentence I'm about to tell you. This is about removing what is no longer holding value to you, replacing the things that you've been holding on to that you no longer need, and releasing the things that you have been holding on to because maybe you always have, that don't even service you in your current season of life. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with our physical environment. And that is going to be where, if you are like me, you don't have any problem with letting stuff go. I will throw something away in a heartbeat, but I know a lot of you like to hold on to things just in case you might use it, just in case you're going to be looking for something later and be like, dang, I wish I wouldn't have thrown that away. Or you may just have emotional attachments to a lot of your physical property, which I think a lot of people do. Especially when you work hard for something or you spent your hard-earned money, it is hard to replace it, release it, or remove it, because it's like, I spent my money on this. I bought this purse. I bought this skincare. I bought this cream. I don't want to see it go to waste. And then we don't have anything practical to do with it. And then it just sits there. So what I do monthly is I purge my items, y'all. I go through things that I really don't have any anticipation of using, and then I get rid of them. Or a lot of times, because I have a 21-year-old daughter, she will come right behind me and be like, oh girl, you don't want that, or you don't want that, and I'll give it to her. Otherwise, it's got to go in the trash. And the beautiful thing about this is that's not about minimalism. This is about what happens when you do get rid of things that you don't use, that are no longer serving you value. What happens is you step back and you are only surrounded by the things that do add value to you, and then it feels like your whole life and your area is productive, because everywhere you turn, what you see out the corner of your eye and what you're grabbing and reaching for are actually things that bring value to your everyday life. So I recently decided, hey, I've got a lot of camera equipment, I've got a lot of things, so how am I going to organize this? What does that look like? And I put a system in place that works for me. I want to be able to have access to the camera that I primarily use for shooting YouTube, what I need for B-roll, what I need if I want to go vlogging. I just need to have it in a place where it is out of sight. I do not like a lot of clutter, and it just feels like I'm not being productive, and I don't get anxious, but I get irritated when I step into a space that is just overwhelmingly full of things that I may actually be using, but I don't really need. So when you think about that, then I am not replacing anything camera equipment wise. I'm not reducing anything camera equipment wise. I'm just organizing it in a space that makes sense to me. Now, when we talk about replacing things, I want to make sure that replacement doesn't give you a license to spend an excessive amount of money, because that is not what I'm about to suggest. But I do think that sometimes there are things in your physical world as well as your mental world where it's okay, this has served a season, now I need to replace it, where you truly can step back and say, or I'm going to replace something and bring something into my environment that is going to bring me an immense amount of joy. Y'all, I think I shared in another video, I bought an espresso coffee maker, and when I tell you that what this did was replace my coffee maker, but it has brought me an immense amount of joy. I just enjoy coffee. I don't know if any of you love coffee, but it's not even just the coffee itself, it's the experience. So what I've done is I've replaced something, but I've brought something into my environment that, yes, I love the taste of coffee and I like to make coffee, but it is the experience. It makes me feel luxurious. It makes me feel like my environment is, how would I say it? It makes me, when I walk into the kitchen, it makes me feel, I don't know, fancy. Like I just enjoy pulling out my little drawer, making up my little iced coffees, and I really think that that was a good investment because it makes me happy. So what I would encourage you to do is think about what in your life needs to be replaced. Is it something that is raggedy and every time you look for it, you roll your eyes? Is it within your fiscal responsibility to go ahead and reach out and replace it? Or honestly, question this. Don't replace anything because what you currently have you weren't using in the first place. Because sometimes when you're replacing things when you weren't using it in the first place, you're just wasting money, and nobody wants to do that. Now let's talk a little bit about reducing. And I think the best place that I can really start with you is reducing your digital clutter. Y'all, get out your phone and start deleting apps. If you go through your phone and you have not touched an app in more than 6 months, delete it. Let it go. The only apps I would say that you need to hold on to are either financial apps that there's a reason that you wouldn't need to necessarily be in them very often, or I do think there are a few apps that kind of break that mold or rule. So for example, I have the United app on my phone. I'm not going to be flying every month, but I'm not going to go download the United app every time I need to get on a flight, because I fly frequently enough where I would need it, but it's not an app that I'm going to be using every week. So definitely go through, take stock. You can do this while you're sitting on the couch watching your favorite show. You can do this if you are in the passenger seat of your car. Just start deleting. Number one, for a lot of you, it's going to free up storage on your phone so you can actually take pictures and videos again. But more importantly, you don't need it. And it's just really slowing down your actual phone, but it is making your life cluttered. So definitely look at what you can reduce in your digital footprint. The other place where you can really think about removing is removing what I like to call energy vampires. And some of you are familiar with the concept of this, some of you are familiar with the book, but this is removing things that are actually mentally and sometimes even physically draining to your everyday existence. I am going to give you a great example of something that's an energy vampire, and it's probably going to make you laugh. An energy vampire for me, y'all, is having to go through the grocery store and pick up every single item of things that I know that I'm going to get every week. I don't need to go into Kroger and pick up the same bag of spinach, the same coffee creamer, the same loaf of bread, the same brown eggs. I'm gonna get those every week. And energy vampire is really defined as anything that is draining and zapping your energy. So I have replaced that by having my groceries delivered. Now, probably should put a disclaimer in here because Kroger be tripping with the delivery. Sometimes it's a little shady, a little sketchy. If you're someone that enjoys scrolling through the grocery store, then I would not suggest that you do that. That's my energy vampire. Energy vampires can also be things like people in your life that are draining you. Now that's a whole different video. The other energy vampire in my life is I am not going to be doing my own hair. I am not going to be doing my own nails. It is worth the time and the energy for me to go and get those things professionally serviced so that I'm able to look the way that I want to look. I don't want to have to think about that. And so think about what your energy vampires, they can be extreme to actually people that are in your physical space that are driving you nuts that you need to reduce your interaction with, or it could be these little things I'm talking about like the grocery store. The next thing that we are going to release is perfectionism. Y'all, if you want your closet to be looking like a showcase IKEA room, then make your closet look like that. But if you want to do that because you're watching TikTok and you're watching freaking Instagram reels and you see this girl that you follow and her closet is like for them gods, then that's not the reason to do it. If it's not something that's going to bring you a sense of peace, then it's not really worth it. So we're releasing perfectionism. And I have a rule that I think really works well for me. My 80% rule is if I had 80% of something that I want, would I be satisfied with it? And if the answer is if I had 80% of whatever that is and I would be happy with it, then that's something that I'm going to move forward with it. Because I have also figured out that most of the time in order for me to be satisfied, I don't even need 100% of whatever it was that I thought that I needed. 80% is sufficient. Not only does that often save me money, but what it does is it also lets me know I don't have to have 100% of the vision of what I thought I needed. 80% is more than enough, and that stops me from getting in the realm of perfectionism, which I really don't consider myself a perfectionist, but I know that I am a Virgo, so I do acknowledge that. And it just gives you freedom, and that goes back to releasing your mental capacity and your mental space. The other thing we're releasing is decision fatigue. Make a decision, sis. So if you're gonna start with, for example, purging your physical space or your digital space, delete or throw away or keep and move on. Don't sit there and try to have a speech with yourself in your closet about why you need this skirt that you wore in 2012 that was so cute that is 3 sizes too small for what your current size is now. If you want to keep it, put it back, but don't convince yourself that you need it. If it makes you happy because you feel like one day you're going to wear it again, then wear it. But what we're not doing is we're not sitting there and we're not draining ourselves with our energy with decision fatigue. So we're releasing that 100%. I have found, y'all, that once I really got to the age where I realized, number one, I don't need everything to be perfect. I don't have to hold on to everything I have. I can live a life where I'm reducing things that are not necessary, especially wasting my time on things that do not serve me. I can replace things when I work hard for them and not feel guilty and don't feel like I shouldn't be spending on money if I know the return on investment is going to bring me joy and happiness, as long as I'm operating in my fiscal responsibility. And when I'm removing things, and sometimes, y'all, you have to remove even people. If I'm removing things from my life that I know ultimately are going to bring me back a place of peace and clarity, then I'm all for that. So this video was just a little reminder that you have all of the authority and the power to remove, replace, reduce anything that you need in your life, whether it's your physical space, your digital space, your mental space, your spiritual space. Like, get quiet and think about the things that you truly value. Think about the things that are impeding you from being as productive as possible, and think about, do I need to reduce? Do I need to replace? Do I need to release those things? And then go ahead and move forward and take action. But what I don't want you to do is make up a whole plan of how you're gonna do this and then you don't do it, because then you just get stuck once again on decision fatigue. So as always, I want to thank y'all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Drink your water.